Welcome to our live stream concert, everybody. We're so grateful for you to be here with us. We know that this is not exactly how we originally had this concert scheduled, but desperate times call for new measures. So I'm Kaden, and
I'm Anna.
And we formed the Consonari Ensemble project last year, and we're so excited to share this music with you today. First, we'd like to thank our sponsor, the CNP Collaborative Musicians Project. I'm going to read a little bit about that so that you understand what it is. The Collaborative Musicians Project is a local nonprofit organization founded to support collaborative musicians of all ages. One of the most significant ways the project does this is by providing sponsorship for professional chamber music ensembles such as ours. This gives the freedom to do any number of projects that further the development of collaborative music, such as exploring and recording new music, and possibly even commissioning new original works. As a nonprofit organization, they rely on donations to help sponsor us. You can find a link to the Collaborative Musicians Project donation page on their website, comusicpro.org, so please check it out. And thank you for coming today and supporting collaborative music. So once again, we're so excited to be here and to be coming to you live from the Seattle area. So originally we were going to have this concert here, well not here, but actually live, but this is such an exciting thing because now we can have people from all over the place. So since we're doing a home concert, well, I'm not going to be wearing shoes, but what we're going to be doing for you tonight is playing 4 pieces that we've been working on to share, and they're pieces that have meant a lot of good stuff to us. We've been playing together only for a few months now, but over the course of that time, it's been really, really fun to figure out how to work together as an ensemble. And so I love that the CNP supports things like that, especially they work with a lot of young kids and helping them, young musicians in training basically to have the experience necessary to start learning how to work with other musicians. There's a big learning curve, I think, sometimes, because you have to learn not only how to learn your own music in a way that helps you to be prepared for the rehearsals together and the performance, but you have to learn the other people's parts to the extent that you are aware of what's going to be going on in their music, and you have to be able to take criticism.
So speaking of our program, Kaden mentioned that we're going to be playing 4 pieces for you. All of these pieces have some sort of message of inspiration or exploration, and for each of their composers, for the 3 that are by composers, not by us, they're a unique sort of genre in that composer's repertoire, either by the instrumentation or some other approach that they took. And so each of these pieces in this program embodies the idea of not being afraid to look beyond what the norm was at the time, and finding new means of expression, which is something that we're trying to do as an ensemble, is find new ways to bring the music to you guys. And so that's something we're working on, and we thought it would be a great way to start off one of our first big concerts that we put together with some awesome rep that's both unique and exciting, and some of it is repertoire that often gets kind of swept under the rug and not played as much, so it's exciting to play it and bring it to this audience.
Yeah. Okay. Well, our first piece is by the Norwegian composer Edvard Grieg, and if you haven't heard of him, or if you don't know much about him, you might have heard a couple of his tunes. He's very famous for this one. In the Hall of the Mountain King. He's also famous for his piano concerto. And a lot of other stuff, but he's not always as well known for his violin music. And so he wrote a few violin sonatas, and we're going to be playing the second one for you. This was written in 1867, It was dedicated to another Norwegian musician, the composer and violinist Johan Svendsen. And the piece, at the time that it was written, it was described as this: the gift to the world of a man who has also shivered in the cold mists of night. It sounds a little bit tragic, and it was that tragedy that led Grieg's teacher to consider the piece to be too Norwegian, and he suggested to Grieg that he write another piece in the future that be less Norwegian, that his next violin sonata be in the other direction. And Grieg defied that and declared that his next sonata would be even more Norwegian. So whatever it means to be Norwegian in music remains up for debate, but this piece spans so many different emotions. It has been an extremely rewarding piece to learn and play. It has 3 movements, or 3 parts, and it feels like it's just telling this grand story. It has elements of tragedy, but also of mystery and magic and mischief. And I think our favorite part, well, at least my favorite part, I don't know about you, but it's the last movement, where it just breaks into this really exciting jig, full of joy and excitement and rustic folk melodies. So without further ado, here's Grieg's Violin Sonata number 2.
going to play is by Amy Beach, one of the most well-known American female composers. She wrote this piece in, sorry, I flipped past my notes, there we go. So in her compositions, she had themes of mastery, originality, and spontaneity, and this piece really embodies all of those. It was written for her friend Maud Powell, who was a renowned American violinist, and she was very supportive and encouraged many young girls to study violin, despite the serious barriers and other social constructs that discouraged them. This piece was originally written and premiered on July 6, 1893 at the Women's Musical Congress, a collaboration of many well-known female musicians who were all coming together to encourage others to pursue music. This piece is described as graceful, though difficult for performance. And though there are some things that kind of surprised us as we started approaching this, we really just appreciate its beauty and the the unique themes that come through, but it's really just overall a very moving and beautiful piece. This is Amy Beach's Romance, dedicated to Maud Powell.
Isn't that gorgeous? This is so weird being behind a screen. But again, thank you so much for being here. We have a couple more pieces for you. The next one is something that we have had a lot of fun with. This is from one of my favorite movies of all time, and I made Anna watch it, and she said it was pretty good. So the movie was put out in 2003, and it's an adaptation of the book series called Master and Commander. It got a little overshadowed by The Lord of the Rings and Pirates of the Caribbean, but it's an amazing film if you haven't seen it. And so it's about an English ship and its crewmates during the Napoleonic era, and they're traveling the world, and they have this encounter with a French ship, and it's just really exciting. If you look at the movie poster, which I think should be showing in your screen shortly, the poster makes it look kind of like an adventure/action film, like a swashbuckling high seas sort of thing, but there's so much more to it. There's an inspirational story, there's a lot of witty banter and one-liners, and there are tales of friendship and the power of courage against troubling times. And it's been a very inspiring movie for me. But beyond that, it has an amazing soundtrack. And so the soundtrack, uses some Baroque music, some Bach, some Corelli, and some other things. And it also, takes a bit from the anachronistic but powerful Vaughan Williams piece of the Fantasia on a theme of Thomas Tallis. And so we've taken some of our favorite musical moments from this piece and strewn them together into a little arrangement, a little nod at the composers and at the beautiful settings and the mood that the movie evokes. So, yeah, and we've had a lot of fun, so we hope you enjoy it as well.
Now, if that doesn't get stuck in your head, we did something wrong. I've had it stuck in my head all week since as we've been working on it.
Yeah, the hardest thing was choosing which tunes to pick, because they're all memorable.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, we have one final piece for you, and I'm going to let Anna explain that one.
Yeah. So our next piece is by Olivier Messiaen. It was written in 1932. It's the theme and variations, which it's often compared to a kind of more, I think, recognizable name of his piece, The Quartet for the End of Time. Both pieces are influenced by mysterious themes and qualities. And he wrote this piece as a wedding present to his first wife, Claire Delbos. It's a piece with, of course, it's a theme of variations. There's a theme and then there's 5 variations. And across the variations, it expands and explores. Sometimes it's harder to find the melody from the theme, as is common from music at this time. The variations often explore more rhythmic or intervallic qualities instead of the exact notes. But as the piece goes on and expands more and more, and once you get to the last variation, it is a very similar callback to the original theme, but on a much more grand and grandiose scale. We've really enjoyed putting this together. It's a very unique piece for me. I'm excited to be able to put it together, to learn it. I really enjoy music from this time period, so it's been really fun to figure out. It's very different from the other pieces that we've played for you, so we hope you enjoy.
Mm-hmm. To the mystic land of Messiaen.
audience, but now we're going to kind of look at the comments, and if you guys have any questions or anything you want to say to us, we're going to do a little bit of a Q&A type session. Try as best as we can, even though we can't hear you guys, we'll try and see what you guys have been saying, and I'm going to pull up this chair over here.
We already have a question.
Okay.
Lori Shepard said, tell me about your composing/arranging process.
Ooh, okay.
Feels different every time.
Yeah. Well, for this particular piece, we watched the movie a couple weeks ago, and then we found there was already a compilation on YouTube of like it was like a 10-minute compilation of music from the score, but it also had a playlist of all the different tracks. We knew we wanted to have at least one folk theme, and then of course the theme at the end was the kind of the last thing that you see in the movie is after everything's happened, you see the two friends playing together. They're playing that theme that we ended with. Yeah. So we knew we wanted to have that, and then we wanted to have the Talus theme. So we kind of we listened and did a lot of listening and transcribing and things, trying to figure out key areas and things that would help us kind of make it all flow together. A lot of what we actually did was more the transitions, and then some of the middle section where it was kind of stormy. We just kind of wrote out some very vague notation and went from there. But we've done different things in the past with other.
Follow-up question, did Anna arrange the violin part and Kaden the piano part? Basically, we kind of divided it up into tasks, and then we would come together and be like, okay, this is what I got. Does this work for you?
Well, like for the chase, like stormy part, we kind of listened to it and wrote down, okay, this is what is going on at this point. I think I should play this part, you should play this part, and kind of figured out through there. Mm-hmm. I mean, the violin stuff, I did that. I notated the chords. I tried to figure out and make it playable as best as I could. I'm
learning a lot about the violin that I never knew before. So it's all part of the process, and this is only the second arrangement that we've ever done together, but we look forward to doing more.
This time I had more input.
Yeah, the last time I wrote basically an arrangement. It was like, what do you think? And she made some very, very good changes. But as we go forward, we'll see how we do it. It's always a work in progress, it's a process of discovery. Did you have fun arranging? Will we hear more arrangements from you? Yes?
Yes and yes.
It's a little stressful because, when you're arranging somebody else's music, you want to do it justice and not make it sound dumb. But, it was fun. And we hope that, if you have suggestions for a piece or soundtrack or song that you'd like us to arrange for piano violin, or if you want to commission a new work, we're always looking for new projects. So.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see, the next question is how and when did we meet? We met out at school, at Indiana University. We've been out there, we started playing together about a year ago. So.
We basically met through church.
Yeah.
And then I found out that she played the violin, that she's a violin major, and I was trying to put together an orchestra for a piano concerto that I was playing, and I needed more violinists. So I roped her in.
Yeah.
And we started talking from there.
Yeah, and I think I asked him to help with some Christmas thing that I was playing in.
You were my page turner.
Yeah, I turned pages for him, and then he accompanied me in that gig. But yeah, and we started actually seriously playing together about we played it together in the spring of last year, but more seriously, our first concert was December, but yeah. So
we're moving forward. We're a very new ensemble.
Yeah.
So what other questions do we have?
Let's see, I don't know. I don't see anything new yet, but I want to kind of look through. What? Okay.
Hello, friends. Hello.
Mr. Longman was
Mira.
here. Let's see. Got a decent number of people.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Noah's here.
Hi, Noah.
Oh, let's see. Rob Adamson says, "Can we play one more piece?" Ooh.
And Jennifer Thomas asked if it's recorded, and the answer is yes.
Yes, we're working on it. I hope everything is working. I don't know.
What does the future hold in performances? We have nothing else booked right now.
Yeah, right now it's kind of up in the air. We're both starting new programs in the fall. We're working on figuring out what we're going to be able to balance. We're definitely going to keep playing together. Hi, Dad. But yeah, we're going to definitely keep playing together. I mean, Kaden's starting his doctorate. He'll have a couple collaborative recitals. We're hoping that one of them can be us playing our duet kind of type things. Definitely more violin sonatas in the books. We're trying to find pieces that are more collaborative, not just accompaniment for violin. So that's kind of what we tried to find in these pieces today, and yeah, hopefully we'll keep working on that.
As for playing another piece, well, we don't have anything else for you right now. I mean, I could play something.
Yeah, yeah, we don't really have anything.
We're tired.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. However, there will be more things in the future.
Yeah,
we both have things on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, if there's a lot on our YouTube, which is conveniently linked for your perusal underneath our faces, right there.
In the future, we will probably prepare more encore pieces.
The fun fact is the Amy Beach piece when they first played it, the crowd was so excited they wanted to hear it again. And when they were playing it the second time, the violinist's music fell off the stand and she kept playing, and everyone was in awe that she had it memorized, but she had just embodied the piece and made it hers. So
that's fun. Fun
trivia fact. But I don't think either of us have the energy. It's been a long day of practicing and warming up and getting this ready for you.
Freebird.
Yes, Coda can be let free.
That's a good idea. That would be fun to do like a Leonard Skinner mashup.
Oh, yeah.
Freebird. Come on.
Yeah. Well, are there any more things that people want to say, or?
If not, we'll probably wrap it up there. Once again, thank you so much for taking the time out of your Saturday evening to be with us, and thank you for your patience with the technical issues. We're sorry we lost the second camera.
Yeah, and thank you to the East Coast time people who are up a little bit later.
Yes.
Glad we could have you guys here. Because we did an online concert, it's nice to be able to expand our audience a little bit. Yeah.
So
thank you guys.
Go forth. Have
Enjoy
a nice
your
evening.
night.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here.
Bye.